what she was cutting up and like feeding to her cats, and we were like for some reason we thought it was like peppers. Like, why is she giving her cat peppers?
she said it was gizzards. So
gizzards, but we couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah.
For some reason, I got it in my head that it was like habanero peppers.
Yeah, that probably really hurt the cats, I'm sure.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, no, and the cat probably won't eat it. They do, like, if you start them on the raw meat diet sort of thing, they're really happy, and I just kept thinking to myself, this is interesting, because, you know, some cats actually, you know, if they've been living on canned or dried their whole lives, it's sort of like, you know, living on McDonald's and Cheerios your whole life, right? Yeah. But my cats are actually, like, they eat raw meat, so it literally, I thought to myself, if I do drop dead, you know, they probably give me 2 days, and then off we go. So.
What a horrible thought. I'm just bummed out now. Because I have a cat, too. Just imagine, like, because I don't really talk to many people. Like, Jesse is, like, pretty much the only person in the world that I talk to.
That is very, you're talking about depressing. That's depressing.
So if I die, like, nobody is going to find me for at least a week.
Yeah.
Well, and then the daggum cat be nibbling on me.
Well,
maybe I'd come back like in, maybe I'd come back like Catwoman in Batman Returns.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know. My editor gave me well, it's funny because that's the yoga T-shirt that my editor got me after the show ended. She ordered it online. It says, "If I die, my cat will wait 2 days before she eats me." So
that's awesome.
It's not very yogic when I go to the yoga studio and I'm wearing this one and everyone else is kind of like all zen, but you know, says everything.
That's a very zen statement on your T-shirt.
I'm aware of it, right? So no, I think it's best if you maybe get one of those call alert things, you know, the ones that old people use when they fall in and they pick it up.
Yeah, I think you should too.
I need one of those. God help me.
That way, like, you know, because I've seen those tragic things, you know, you're lying in the shower and, you know, like, what would happen if you bonked your head, you know?
Well, thankfully, I'm still at the physical state where if I was to fall, I can get up on my own.
That's the commercial where they say, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah, but those are old people.
I'm just saying that's like the phrase of it. So you are.
Yeah, but what happens if you bonk your head? Like, what happens if you knock yourself out and you have a concussion and then your head magically blocks the drain? It keeps running, the water, and you know, like I think to myself that, see? Yeah. Sorry. This is you guys ever have that worst case scenario handbook?
There are exactly. That's a worst case scenario that could happen.
I've never actually read the book, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had it, and I'm always thinking like, what would happen if this, especially that for a long time my car didn't have automatic windows because I was scared if I drove off a bridge. You know, I just want to be able to unroll it.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, that can malfunction at that time. That'd be the perfect time for it to malfunction if you're in the river.
Well, yeah, because the moment it hits water, things, you know, all go bad. So I was like, for a long time, you know, I had my car, and I just would not get anything that had, the automatic windows because you never know. It's like,
well actually, that's a myth. If you watch Mythbusters, they actually prove that you actually have to wait until the car fills up with water in order to, pull your window down or open your door. So how freaky would that be?
Yeah.
Having to be in your car waiting.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, no.
Because there's not a lot of lakes in Georgia. I don't know what it's like in Canada, but
I think there's a good many lakes in Canada.
Well, there's
a lot of
big ones. They got the Great Lakes.
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be quite a few.
But and I'm on the Pacific Ocean, so you know there's a lot of.
Oh, okay.
So it's. I don't really like water all that much, so which is ironic since it doesn't stop raining ever here. So.
So you would be close to like Seattle and stuff, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm actually going to Geek Girl Con next weekend. I do occasionally leave because my short film Doll Parts is actually playing, so I'm going to go and introduce it there. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like a place I should go. Geek Girl Con. That sounds like it's right up my alley.
But there's probably not. I'm assuming if it's a Geek Girl Con, there's not going to be as many guys.
Well, that's not
4 guys.
I don't need guys there.
Actually, you know what? I could see more of them showing up for that reason. But
so the guys will be there to meet the girls.
I think so.
I need a geeky girl. I can't have a regular,
You don't like a girl that...
If I find a girl that plays Minecraft, I'll be happy. Yeah. But I think they're a rare breed.
Yeah, I don't really
see a lot of
girls spending hours and hours. I mean, it's possible.
Well, think of it this way: you're like programming HorrorQuest. There's no possible way you need someone normal. That's just not going to happen.
Well, that's true.
Right.
So that's one thing. I think we even had this conversation. We were talking about because I was like, I just want to find a girl who's just dark and mysterious and wears hoodies and has skulls all over her shirt. And he was like, well, they'll probably come to your film festival. I was like, this is awesome. But and actually, our first volunteer, the first HorrorQuest volunteer, I probably should give her a shout out, but her name's Tiffany. And our very first volunteer, I had figured it would be a dude.
Yeah.
But the very first volunteer, and actually anybody who's inquired about volunteering has all been girls. So
there you go.
But she has a boyfriend, so.
Yeah. Well,
there goes that. There goes that.
Well, that's just one. There could be more volunteers for you here.
Again. Gonna die alone. And that's what makes all that stuff that we were talking about worse, is because I don't necessarily plan on getting married. I could live with somebody, but I don't necessarily plan on having children. So that means that when I'm old and decrepit and is going to need help, there's not going to be anybody there. So I'll rescue dog. I'll be like that poor woman that died and nobody knew that she was there for 2 years until finally a neighbor said, there's a lot of mail piling up in her mailbox.
Right.
And they finally...
You need to hear what I said. You could have a service dog.
A service dog? Mm-hmm. Shaw. I get any service animal. I'm getting a monkey.
It's about your friends, because I have a plan for when I actually get old, because I don't have kids and I have apparently zero maternal instincts whatsoever except for with my cats. So literally what I'm thinking of doing is that, because we live longer than guys, right? I'm going to band together with a bunch of my kind of creepy girl friends, buy a house, hire some of these cabana boys to help us around, right? And at that point, idea. Yeah, this is the plan.
Cabana boys.
Well, people who are kind of hot orderlies that can carry us around and empty our bedpans. So this is, I have it planned. It's good. So so right now what I'm doing is collecting girlfriends that are kind of, that might be hip to this whole idea.
Exactly. Maybe by the time I'm that age, they'll have perfected cloning.
Right.
I could just get a whole bunch of clones of Kat Dennings and Ellen Page to just take care of me.
Well, we have the technology. We have discussed. She's talking about this group of girls and living together at a late age. We've talked about ourselves being almost like secondhand lions.
Yeah, I think that one day me and Jessica would just wind up on a ranch with a bunch of shotguns on a porch
with a lion, or what was the animal they had? Like a tiger?
Well, they had a lion, and then I think they had just a bunch of dogs.
Okay, that would be cool, having a lion.
But see, that does not sound horrible to me.
No, I don't think
maybe
it's
horrible. Just
I would like to have a lion.
Sitting on a front porch with a glass of tea just sounds right in my mouth.
Right, but but you're forgetting the lion. We could have a lion. That would be really cool.
Yeah, and hopefully you don't die so that the lion doesn't eat you, right?
Exactly.
We'd plant a cornfield where it could go and play. And then hopefully we'll have a nephew, some mysterious nephew.
Yeah. That was the kid, the
Haley Joe Osborne.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I was flipping over to this. You're going to be dying of gangrene at the hills of Kilimanjaro, sort of the Hemingway story, with the lion, because he's always hunting.
That sounds horrible.
It does go horrible.
But anyway,
things always go bad, in our conversations. You're like, yeah, that'd be great, but then I could get gangrene, and that would really suck.
I don't think gangrene would be fun at all.
Is gangrene really that big of a deal anymore? I mean.
But what?
If they catch it early, I guess.
I guess so, but that's assuming that you're not on an African safari, right?
Exactly.
Where and sometimes things
that's
happen.
Never going to happen for me.
You don't ever want to go on an African safari?
I mean, there's places I want to go, but I'm I don't think now that I've gotten older, if I was in my young
29.
20s, well, yeah, but now like I get so freaking paranoid.
You act like you're 50.
Well, I get so freaking paranoid. I know now that I would not be able to physically handle being in an airplane.
Right, you got an
I think
airplane?
I would freak out.
Airplane?
I would freak out.